oh no, I need to clean the house. And so in an effort and a miraculous amount of time and work, you're able to do the laundry, clean the floors, wash the windows, throw the dishes in the dishwasher, and you're able to tidy up the room so that it's presentable for company in just a few short minutes. We all know that adrenaline rush that comes over us when we're ready to do something in an instant. I'd like to begin by just sharing some personal thoughts about the mystery of sex transmutation. This book has completely changed my life. Think and Grow Rich is one of the best sources of not only inspiration and motivation, but for application as well. I have found so many amazing tools in this book that is incredibly helpful to both my daily work and everything that I do here on throughout all of the stuff that I'm doing, from speaking to podcasting to training to coaching to all of the above. I think it's just an amazing resource. And as I dive deeper into the book, I find that out of the 13 steps to riches that Napoleon Hill shares, it makes sense that he has organized them in the way that they are organized. I often think like, wow, how intentional was it for Napoleon to put these steps in the order that they're in? And I have zero doubts that the reason that sex transmutation is the exact step following the mastermind methodology step, that it is an application. And I'll read from the book just for 2 seconds here to share with you the meaning to transmute. Okay, what is this transmutation? Are we turning into teenage mutant ninja turtles? No, no. To transmute is, in simple language, the changing or transferring of one element or form of energy into another. And in the book, you have to read it because it is the mystery of sex transmutation, where it takes some of the most pure and intimate and innate or primal instincts that humans have, and converting that energy or transmitting or transferring that energy into another. And it can be both physical, spiritual, mental, and so forth. And I believe that this is one of the most powerful tools in honing in your craft, focusing in on what it is that you want to accomplish. I love the example of Napoleon Hill's work in how he has literally gone to some of the most influential and richest people in the world to gather together the answers to know what it is to help make people think and grow rich. And the 10th step to riches is the mystery of sex transmutation. So I think it helps to give a few examples and to learn why this principle is so powerful. And I want to share with you one of my favorite examples, and it comes from a movie. It's a classic Disney movie called Rocket Man, and it's very silly. It's a slapstick humor type of movie, but the main character and his supporting cast are stuck on Mars, and they're out there on the Martian turf, and the storm flips the rover that they're driving, and they've got to get back to the ship before the storm gets worse. And the commander is stuck underneath the rover, pinned to the Martian surface. And Rocket Man approaches the commander and says, "Quick, commander! They say if a mother and senses that their child is under duress or stress, that she can summon the power of 20 men. Quick, commander, call me mommy." And the commander looks at him and he goes, I'd rather die on the Martian turf. And he goes, "Quick, commander, no time to complain. Call me mommy." And he sums up his ego and his courage, and under his breath he goes, "Mummy," and he goes, "Louder." Mommy, please save me, Mommy. And he says, Mommy's coming, little Billy, Commander Bill. And he summons all this power and he lifts the rover just high enough so that the commander could crawl out from underneath it, and they are saved. And now they have to wander back to the spaceship before the Martian storm takes over. I love this example, and it is super silly, I know, but I'll never forget it because it is an example of true heroism, of summoning the powers of incredible strength in a microburst. And these are all things that are capable through transmutation. But that's on a physical level. I'll talk more about the mental and spiritual in just a moment. I, in many circumstances, have had this happen in my life. And I bet you could relate too. We don't have to be astronauts stuck on the Martian turf to figure this out. How many of you have been told by a reminder that somebody will be at your house in just a few short minutes, and you forgot about them coming over, and then you remembered, oh no, I need to clean the house. And so in an effort and a miraculous amount of time and work, you're able to do the laundry, clean the floors, wash the windows, throw the dishes in the dishwasher, and you're able to tidy up the room so that it's presentable for company in just a few short minutes. We all know that adrenaline rush that comes over us when we're ready to do something in an instant. However, if it were to just take us a regular Saturday to just do our chores and to do what we normally do, it'd probably take us hours to do all of that. But yet, in just a few short minutes, you were able to do all of that because of the preparation for someone coming over. I know that most of you have probably experienced that or some form of that, and that is transmutation at work. Transmutation is taking an energy, whether it be out of a negative energy, such as fear, anxiety, or anything else like that, or you could even take positive motivation, adrenaline, right? You can take those and you can transmute them, transfer them into something else. I used to pump myself up before I would take exams in college. And the reason why is, well, I'm not the greatest test taker. And anxiety and fear would overtake me, and I would forget everything I spent the last 3 weeks studying and anything that I had crammed into my brain for memorization or whatever it would be to accomplish that. But I did find that if I filled myself up with adrenaline of positivity, I would talk to myself in the mirror. I would say great affirmations. I would do things that would give myself the confidence to say, you know what? I can step in here. I can read these questions. I'm going to know the answer. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to know the best possible, closest answer to that. And I often did okay. C's and D's get degrees. Am I right, guys? All right. Just kidding. I did okay in college. But I really, really found that transmutation helped me, not on just a physical level, because as an athlete, we all have to pump ourselves up. We all have to get into the mode, the focused energy to accomplish great things. But it's not a sustainable energy over long periods of time. There is a crash when it comes to physical energy, but I have found that there is a lesser crash or maybe a non-existent crash when you transmute the physical energies into mental and spiritual applications. And this has become something that I find just incredibly useful in our lives. So whether it's deadlines, whether it's getting things done, or just getting off your butt and not being lazy and actually doing what you say you're going to do, it is so transferable in its ability. In the 13 Steps to Riches, volume 10, where I wrote a chapter on the power of transmutation, I shared a quote, and the quote is, "You may not be done, but you can be complete. You may not be satisfied, but you could be fulfilled. You may not have won the battle, but the war isn't over." And this quote was more of an emotion to share with anyone who might be struggling to get things done. Today or recently, I had a meeting with my executive team preparing for the final quarter of 2024. Can you believe it? It's almost the end of the year. And whether you're watching this next year or whenever you're watching this, just know that no matter what time of year it is or what day it is, you have time. You always have time, but time is against you constantly. It doesn't stop. So you have time, but time is ticking. And so when it comes to accomplishing big goals, dreams, aspirations, desires, you've got to remember that if you break things up into little bits and then you sprint, you will always have time to recover. Okay. Some people think, well, haven't ran since I was 35 years old. Well, it's okay. But a sprint psychologically, mentally, or spiritually, such as fulfilling a challenge or overcoming an obstacle or achieving your goals, can be accomplished in a short amount of time. And there is room and time for recovery. The most important thing is that when you endure some sort of adrenaline based or energetic response to accomplishing something in a very short amount of time, the power of rest will automatically fill in the rest. Okay. The rest will be filled in after your sprint. And as an athlete, this is both applicable in a physical sense and in a non-physical sense, because I understand the importance of rest. Stress plus rest equals growth. And the stress part should be the activities in the direction of actually achieving what it is that you want to achieve. The rest follows, and your body will take over. Your body and your brain are so good at doing what they need to do. They will shut your eyes. Have you ever just fallen asleep in front of your computer or in front of the TV just because you were tired? That's your body saying, yo, hey, over here, I'm tired. We're going to shut down for a little while. Okay. And your body is so good at doing that. And toddlers are really bad at fighting this. If you've never dealt with a toddler, right? They have these micro bursts of what I call Tasmanian devil energy before the crash. Okay. And that's usually before bedtime, right? They usually have this spike of energy and then they collapse. And that's not entirely different than what we as adults are capable of as well. In order to achieve a goal, I highly recommend you sprint. Stop walking, stop crawling. But if that's what you have to do to get there right now, that's fine. But I'm encouraging you, I'm challenging you, I'm recommending that you start sprinting. Pick up your knees, drive your arms, sprint towards those goals because the year is almost up. Before you know it, it'll be the holidays. Before anything, you'll realize that it is almost over. So take the necessary actions. Focus on transmuting or transmitting the energy that you need to finishing and accomplishing that goal. And once you do, once you have fulfilled that, you will realize that your body will take over. Amazing things will happen. And as you ask Commander to call you mommy and you summon the power of 20 men and you're able to make those micro bursts, you will have a sense of accomplishment. You will realize how much more you can achieve in your life, and you will see just how far you are capable of going. And I'll remind you this: everything you need is already inside you. All you need to do is develop the discipline and take the necessary actions and steps to achieve that which you desire. Thank you.